Good morning. My name is Youngkyun BAEK. He called me Young BAEK. So in US, my name is Young BAEK. Yeah. Youngkyun is very difficult to pronounce, so I changed my name in US. I joined Boise State University last year, and before that, I was teaching educational technology at Korea National University of Education since 1991, and more than 23 years. And officially, I retired from Korea position, and then transfer my job to Boise State University last year. So there, I am teaching game-based learning and designing instructional games at graduate level at the Department of Educational Technology, Boise State University in Boise, Idaho. Do you know what is famous for Idaho? Potatoes. Okay. I didn't see any potato field yet, but there is also, Micron. Micron, which is semiconductor manufacturer, and also we have HP Research Center in Boise. So they called the IT city Boise as IT city. Okay. This morning I have a title, Educational Implications of Social Network Games, to present to you. And under this title, I have two major topics. One is the key indicators of social network games, and second is my recent research study on the educational implications of social network games. Under the key topic, I'm going to give you overview of social media and social network games dependent upon users' sociality and social network games on mobile device. Next, I will introduce my research study. Very complicated chart. Social media landscape 2012. This chart gives you an overview of the social media landscape. Its main purpose is to illustrate the diversity of usages and the complexity of this ecosystem. In this chart, you can find a set of online services allowing conversations and social interactions on computers, but also on mobile and alternative devices such as smartphone, tablet, connected TVs, and smart frames. Although this graph is divided into pies and layers to make it easier to read, social media is a very dense ecosystem where different players live in symbiosis. As for the usages, it has spread various services of families. They are publishing, sharing, playing, networking, buying, localization. The publishing with blog engines such as WordPress, Blogger, Typepad, wiki platforms such as Wikipedia, Wikia, live blog services, Tumblr, Postoros, and social Q&A like Quora. Sharing with dedicated online services for videos such as YouTube, Dailymotion, Vimeo, pictures such as Flickr, Instagram, links, product, music, and document. Next, playing with major editors, Zynga, there is Zynga, Playdom, and others. Networking such as LinkedIn, retro classmate, buying with customer intelligent platforms, Amazon, Bazaar Voice, and last one, localization with mobile applications, Foursquare, Path, and Yelp, which is a socialized city guide. Top social networking activities. Social gamers spend on average 39% of their time on social networking sites, playing games, followed by chatting with, messaging friends, 17%, and playing non-social games, 15%. Nearly one quarter, the 24% of consumers say they regularly play games on social networking sites such as Facebook and MySpace. And contrary to prevailing stereotypes, the typical social gamer is 43-year-old woman, according to the new survey from PopCap Games. The total social gamer population is now at 100 million in the US and UK alone. In addition, worldwide social gaming revenues are forecast to reach 1.3 billion in 2010, according to Leisure Capital Markets. Social network games on social networking site. Social networking sites are new communication channels with which people can share information. The popularity of social networking sites has provided a vibrant platform for scholars who are looking at what happens in this media. Social network games are applications made available through social networking sites, where the users play games with members of their social network. Next, this slide shows popularity of social network games. The popularity of social network games seems to be more popular, resulting in the spread of social networking service users. A 2011 eMarketer study shows that social gaming is on the rise with users. This trend, which the study predicts, will continue in the future. Gaming not only attracts high volumes of users, it also engages those players for a long period of time. According to a study conducted by IGA, Nielsen, Interpret, and Hitwise, social gaming now surpasses email in terms of engagement time spent. What's more, social gaming is no longer limited to dedicated male gamers. Studies show that as many as 61% of gamers are women. How often do you play social games? About 24, a little bit more than 24% plays several times a day, right? That throughout all ages. And once a day, about 27 to 30%. A couple of times a week, about 20%. And once a week, 3 to 7%. Once a fortnight, about 3%. Once a month or less often is about 13 to 19%. So the ages, in terms of social network games, no age difference we can find, right? Not much difference between ages. So mostly social network gamer are from novice gamer, not experienced gamers. Social network games on users' sociality. As you know, traditional digital games interact only within the game world, but the social network games, interaction in and out of the game world, right? And the social network games, this figure tells us that the social network games are very dependent upon users' sociality. And social network games on mobile devices. Smart devices have brought about the ability to access worldwide network from diverse applications, ubiquitously referred to as advent of smart world. Social network games are one of the most preferable application for those smart devices. And with this background, I started to study how we can use the social network games as a tool for teaching and learning. I performed recently a small-scale research. Overall, the purpose of my study was to explore educational implications of social network games on mobile devices. To this end, we conducted in-depth interviews and surveys for teachers who play social network games on mobile devices through a qualitative research design. Based on the data analysis, we'll discuss the culture of playing social network games, by extension, discover significant meaning of using this medium, and eventually suggest instructional implications of social network games for teaching and learning. So I had 3 research questions. The research question 1, why do people play social network games? Number 2, what are predominant features and interactions of social network games? Number 3 question, which possibilities do social network games have for learning, for teaching and learning? Method. 19 teachers who are experts who studied game-based learning in graduate school programs and have played social network games participated in my study. They have played at least 2 social network games for 2 months. After 2 months, they responded to the 3 questions. Number 1, about the reasons for playing social network games. Number 2, about the unique feature and types of interaction which occur in and outside social network games. And number 3, about possibilities of social network games as a teaching and learning tool. 10 teachers were from South Korea, and 9 teachers were from United States. 11 teachers were female, and 8 teachers were male. They played at least 2 social network games from Castlecraft, Trade Nation, Godfinger All-Stars, Uirul, Quest, Farmville, and Cityville for 2 months. A qualitative research design was employed to investigate educational implications of social network games. In addition, survey, face-to-face interviews, and emailing were used. Data was analyzed by using the constant comparative method by Strauss and Corbin, and a multi-level coding scheme by Miles and Huberman was adopted. The transcript were entered into qualitative software NVivo 8.0 in order to facilitate analysis of themes and extraction of quotes. This slide is a visualized summary of research methodology of my study. Findings. Findings from research question number 1. Why do people play social network games? Participants answered that they wanted to keep playing the game because there were random events enough to make them interested, because they wanted to improve their scores, and because it was fun to play. In addition, regarding the compelling attribute that make them want to play social network games, they replied sharing information with other players, controlling the game environment, trading game creations, moving freely in the game, getting feedback from diverse events or updates, and restarting the game where they left off. This slide is data cloud of the region for playing social network games. In sum, why do you want to play social network games? Number 1, because I can communicate with others while playing game. Number 2, because it is easy to play. Number 3, because I wanted to be connected. Number 4, because I can interact with my friends. Number 5, because there are random events and they make me interested. Number 6, because it is fun to play. Findings from question number 2. What are dominant features and interactions of social network games? In most cases, players should sign up at the social networking site to play social network games. They need to create their profile, share details about themselves, and join groups of users or players. As one respondent said, player communication through voice or messages gives the game realistic interactions between avatars. Also, interactivity in social network games is a remarkable feature in the way of both inside and outside of the games. This slide shows the patterns of interaction in social network games, inside games, outside games, and mostly I think I said, so skip it. Findings from number 3 question, what possibilities? Mostly they said collaboration and collaborative knowledge construction and opportunity to utilize knowledge properly, not merely to obtain knowledge. So knowledge construction through collaboration is the top the factor they suggested as a education value. So collaboration, quest, number 2 is quest, and problem solving is the 3rd. I have 4 summaries, 4 conclusions, and 1 concerns from my study. 1, social network games have been appearing coupled with social media, and these have created new gaming culture, which makes real-world interaction more diverse and vice versa. 2nd, social network games, however, need to shed new light on the educational potential due to their focal features such as person-to-person interactivity and quest-based game activities. Interactivity of social network games was a remarkable feature in this medium. Interactivity in social network games has certain patterns inside the game and outside the games. Social network games could be used effectively for teaching and learning, definitely. They indicate that social network games might be able to encourage collaborative learning through utilizing diverse interaction. One concern I have is that online safety should be a big concern for social network games to be used in teaching and learning. There needs to be a safe area for communication, collaboration, and competitions. To secure safety, there should be an availability of special account for schools. Social network games would need an educator's account that can be linked to the student so that they can play at schools. If you have any detailed explanation about what I presented here, you can email me anytime. I have my email address here. And thank you very much for your listening and attention. Thank you.